London 2016. We're kicking it back off here with Millenium versus TCM. Joining me is Jonas here. How are you doing, Jonas?
I'm doing pretty good. Just replacing Bracey for this game. TCM doing really good so far. I've been really impressed with the way they've been playing, but Millenium off to a good start in uplink.
So Swanee locking down this right-hand side does get Shane. Shane obviously changing his game, his PSN to I have no kidneys. So if you're wondering who that is in fact Shane. Quite disappointed he's not rocking my Troutmander PSN anymore, but there you go. Jerd with a great entry kill on the hotel. ManCave also following up. He's actually pushing down this left-hand side to see if they can get a sneaky one-point play. It goes over the rock into the uplink, and they start things off 1-0.
Yeah, and ManCave in a very good position to do some damage. Picked up the first kill, gonna be able to find the second. Niall, only one alive for TCM, but no one in the Millenium camp in position to take the drone just yet. Jerd is going to drop. Tomei yet to find a kill, but ManCave on a 4-kill streak. Still going to find more. Finally, Sunnyb takes him down.
Tommy does have control of that drone in the middle of the field. And he's going to push down this right-hand side. Jerd obviously leading the way. EMP is out, and here comes the Semtex just to clear himself and give him a bit of cover as he pushes through into the opposite building. Someone's going to anticipate this, and Niall goes down. Nice beat down as he escorts Tommy all the way around. Tommy has been shot in the back by Bram. Bram with a massive 2 kills to stop that, and Sunny B gets control of the middle of the park. Swanee looking to keep them at bay for as long as he possibly can as TCM push up this left-hand side.
This was a massive stop from Bram. Like, literally, if he didn't make those 2 kills, it would have been an easy 2-pointer for Millenium. Could have been 3, but it's going to be TCM just having to throw that drone away because the pressure from Millenium is just too big. They're making too many kills. And right now, even though TCM can get control of the drone, they're just not able to get that control map that they need.
Yeah, they did chuck the drone forward to give themselves a little bit less pressure on the middle. Swanee is playing absolutely godlike at the moment. 3-kill streak for him as he pushes forward. Tommy makes the kill on Niall. Shane also answers back onto Jerd. This is about controlling the middle of the field as Swanee's actually picked up the drone this time as Tommy leads the charge. ManCave gets a kill. Brand answers back onto Tommy. It's up to Swanee as he tries to juke and jive through the building. He's actually going to go off the wall run on this building and go for the 1-point play. If he can get it off, he does eventually get the ball into the uplink. 2-0.
Yeah, and the pressure from the Millenium and the slaying power is just very big. As you mentioned, Swanee off to a great start, and Millenium just doing what they want to do. Jerd picking up one more kill as well right there, and it's going to be another push for Millenium. Surely this is going to be a 2-pointer. No, Tommy is just going to play for the 1-pointer, but it could have been a 2. It could have been a 2 looking at the kills that they're making. Now Tommy just setting up.
Oh, Tommy.
Just setting up.
Tommy putting some great slaying power down. They are spawning out on the outskirts, meaning they have free reign to push down the right-hand side. Swanee has managed to get the cap into the uplink. That's 2 points now, and they're just keeping the pressure up. They can keep slaying them out as they spawn, obviously, round this corner. They give themselves great pressure, and Jerd's just locking down the hotel entrance. So every time they try and wrap around and give themselves some sort of damage limitation, it's just not going their way, and more points are going in as finally TCM managed to break control of the middle, and they can start to push out.
Finally, and if you wonder how to play this map in uplink, Millenium just showed you how. Just make this nice setup, go to the tank, make sure you've got someone in the middle to cover the reset, and then you're all set. You just keep running and make those 2 points count. However, Swanee not going to be able to make the triple happen to stop TCM from reducing the score, but that damage is done. It's 7-2. Let's remind ourselves, Millenium is on the favorable side of the map, so we could see TCM coming back on the second map. They just need to make sure they get some points in.
So Millenium trying to hold them out here. Great kill there from Shane, pushing forward. He's been absolutely electric this series, not having the best of games so far in this uplink, but I'm sure it's a matter of time before he pulls it back. Niall gets the headshot on Jerd into Church. Brand pushing forward onto the tank. He does spot someone there, but the smoke covering his tracks. Eventually, ManCave puts him to rest. Niall has picked up the ball, but does lose it again, but gets the 1-point play off of that one. All 4 of them have gone down. They've lost control of the drone. However, they are on the respawn. 30 seconds left. I don't think Millenium are going to get too much out of this final play.
They can get a 1-pointer if they go on the left side. The wraparound coming up, and unfortunately, ManCave needed to make that kill happen to load Jerd to go for the 1-pointer. He's going to throw it in. Not going to bounce back in, and good job by TCM. They were really clearly dominated, and they made it a 2-possession game just in the end, racking up some points. It was very important for them to open the scoreboard going into the second half.
Sunnyb trying desperately to run as fast as he can to get a 1-point play. It's not going to happen, though.
Yeah, and a very questionable choice from Niall to be using his Tempest at the end of the map when there was barely enough time to go for it.
He must have thought that they could actually make it there and get that 1-point playoff, which is why you saw him use it. But not going to happen in the end. The Semtex puts him to rest, and that's going to be a waste of a specialist, as you said. But 7-3 to Millenium going into the second half of the uplink. Obviously, the series score at 1 apiece after all the delays we had getting this match set up. We are underway, and this is going to be the second half.
Yeah, and TCM's got a lot of work to do if Millenium keep playing the way they've been playing on first side. Look at ManCave and Swanee going 12-7 and 17-9. And Bran is going to open things up with the first kill with the grenade, but Tommy picking up a 2-piece of his own in the middle.
Tommy has picked up that drone, and he's pushing right through the middle. He's going to jump up onto the church, go for the long one-pointer, hook, line, and sinker. 8-3 to Millenium now. Here come TCM off the respawn. Looks like they are still in control of the drone reset.
And look at Jez, such a smart positioning, making sure he can pick up that kill on the left side. Swanee going to find 2 as well. Finally, Sunnyb is going to find 1 kill for TCM, but they're in a lot of trouble now. The pressure is on them again. And Millenium just never stop making kills. The feed is always on with those Millenium players.
Tommy looking to go for a 1-point. I think that might have bounced off the fence, and it does go behind him, but fortunately enough, it doesn't roll off the map. And ManCave just putting the beat down on as he goes for an easy 2 points now, and they are set up in a great position. Obviously, the spawn point isn't that far away. Tommy trying to reverse it, push them outside of the graveyard and push them over onto the outskirts side of the map. And then I think he did do that. Unfortunately, don't get the slaying power down to keep the momentum going. And TCM are on the counter-attack here.
Yeah, and look at the scores from TCM. Absolutely no one is going positive. Just Brian and Sunnyb going neutral. As I say that, Sunnyb makes 2 happen, and they're going to need to do something very special and start putting pressure on, make those kills count, as they are now 7 points deficit towards Millenium.
Sunnyb using his heat wave, doesn't get the kill. However, Nile the only one left for TCM as they start to push forward off the respawn. Obviously want to cut off the middle of the map in case they do push through it, but they are pushing from the outside of the map through outskirts. There's going to be one jumping up on the top row. He does jump down. Nile goes for the challenge. Can he get the kill? He's actually jumped over it. He knows the active camo has been used and he can't quite see him. Does the 1-pointer go in? No, it doesn't bounce in.
Is somehow still alive. Judd could have made the 2-point happen, but Shane is going to be extremely cautious and just make sure that doesn't happen. 3 minutes left. Now, once again, TCM, if you're in TCM's situation, just need to be aggressive. You just need to go for it. You can't afford to be thinking anymore.
Well, Bryce was saying in the hard point, it was all about keeping the tempo up, fast-paced, and putting the pressure onto Millenium. And this game, TCM don't look like they've quite been able to do that. I mean, Swanee has just had control of the middle of the map with that AR. He's got onto the hotel stairs, and he's been absolutely destroying anyone who tries to challenge it. ManCave as well, 26-14 so far in this game, has been slaying for fun once they have put the pressure on and they've moved TCM back into their own spawn. He's been absolutely lapping up the kills for his own.
Yeah, and Swanee and ManCave just looking unstoppable with those manuals on this map. And I think it's one of these maps where, you know, it's kind of long range. AR have a bigger role than SMGs. And when you have the likes of Swanee and ManCave in team, it can only go well. ManCave dropping 30.
Niall yet to hit 10 kills so far in this game. This has not been a good show for him after having a very nice performance in the previous 2 maps. I think that delay has kind of maybe made his hands a bit cold. He's not quite back. He's not hitting it as hard as he was in the during the series earlier on, so it's not quite working out for him. The heat wave has been used. Niall gets a kill to help.
Look at Tommy, just playing around and gonna go with that 2-point in. Very nice play of him, just staying alive, making sure his teammates come as a distraction, even though they don't pick up the kills. Like all of TCM were looking at someone else because they couldn't afford to look at Tommy anymore. And Tommy just took advantage of it, used that to his advantage to make a 2-point happen, and it was just a very heads-up play.
Judd seems to be reading that very well. Knew that someone would flank through that broken building. Sunnyb coming back once again. Bran also following up kills. This is the time for TCM to start making a push. Judd trying desperately to catch Bran out. He does manage to get him through the smoke in the end. Shane also putting shots down just in case there is someone coming around that corner. ManCave takes him out. Niall as well in the middle of the pitch. Does not finally get him. ManCave also answering back with kills. And it's just a trade fest at this point.
It's a ManCave show. It's the ManCave show, Trout. Look at him. He's going 37-16. He's still on a 3-kill streak, and he's just dropping numbers. It's just making sure Millenium are going to take this map number 3, which mathematically is going to be impossible now for TCM to come back in. ManCave just looking for 40.
Looking for the 40 bomb, 1 kill away. The active camera comes out from Judd, just seeing if he can sweep up anyone as the ball is on its way towards the portal. It has been picked up by Tommy. I think they're just happy to see this out. 17 seconds left. There's no point really going for it.
Yeah,
It's
we're
gonna
just
be
going to see if ManCave can make that 40 happen, Niall. It's got to Tempest. Come on, ManCave. You can do it. You can do it. And it's not actually... ManCave's not going to make the 40 kill, and we can't really blame him. He's dropped 39. I think that's good enough.
Absolutely. 12-3 for Millenium in that map. Obviously, we are not done here. There will be a fourth map. It's going to be CTF in this best of 5 series. So Millenium do take the lead finally in the series. Not exactly how we expected it. We thought it'd be a quick 3-0 for, well, not necessarily a quick, but a pretty convincing 3-0 for Millenium. They did drop that hard point, and in that map, it just goes to show that, I mean, it looked like TCM were trying to ban out the ARs and give people like Swanee and Marcat no excuses to actually do anything with the ARs.
So
in the Man of War, they show that they can use multiple different ARs, and the game plan didn't quite go to plan for TCM there.
I think at this point, Millenium just don't care about what you ban or what you don't. It's just about, you know, they can play with any weapon. We've also seen that taking things like stock away doesn't affect them at all. So very, very strong performance out of Millenium on this map, just showing the dominance and showing why everyone's got them as favorite with Infuse this weekend. And if they can make the same performance onto the next map, which, you know, I'm always like, if you play well in uplink and there is such a strong dominance, then it's likely that you can replicate that in CTF. And looking at the map, it's going to be Breach. That might be the only reason why I think TCM will still stand a chance. If it would have been Fringe, with the way ManCave has been playing, I would have said, done deal.
No, I completely agree with you. Breach capture flag. It is one of those maps where the ARs can have a difficulty. They've really got to position themselves in the right areas and take battles into their own, because especially if you're sitting back on the flag, you haven't really got long lines of sight. You're kind of cramped up into this kind of area where the flag is kept. You can't see across the map to give yourself a lot of fighting chance if you are attacked from people looking for the flag, whereas something like Fringe, obviously you've got lots of area to cover. You can see long distances and catch people out before they even approach you. And obviously on Breach, you don't have that luxury. So I'm expecting to see that TCM do have a much better advantage going into this map over something else. I think they can definitely do it. I mean, Shane is also, he's so known for his objective play. He's been nicknamed the Bamboozler in previous Call of Duties, just because he knows how to work the flag. He knows how to juggle it. He knows how to work the timer that will be coming up across his head. He knows how to dupe people out. And obviously the vocal lead, it's about putting the kills down. And I was talking to Millenium yesterday, and they were saying that, you know, their problem is that they're so eager to go out and win the game that it kind of hinders them at times, because they go out looking for the game, for the win. Some teams are quite happy to just sit there and, you know, play the defensive game. They're happy to take whatever Millenium's throwing at them and just fend it off and just see how they can get on. That usually ends up in them, you know, counter-attacking and pulling the flag and winning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said we're going to be looking at Shane. I have to agree.